I'm Denise Gray. I'm Associate Registrar for Recruitment and Transition. I'm the first year student advisor at Innis College in the Registrar's Office. Welcome. I've emailed you guys a bunch. I will continue to email you guys. Don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions, anything. If I'm not the right person to answer it, I will find out who it is and direct your message that way. Okay, so we're talking about with the life science students. Essentially, the information that you get in all of these sessions will be the same. The reason we divide you up is because there are specific examples and specific information for the different disciplines that is not relevant to other programs. Commerce, for example, they pre-enroll you in 4 out of your 5 courses. In the life sciences, we need to talk about scheduling labs, which doesn't happen in the humanities. But essentially the process for enrolling in courses is the same for everybody. We're going to talk about the arts and science timetable. The fall and winter timetable, you're going to enroll in all of your courses for the whole first year on July 26th. So we're going to plan out your whole first year schedule. These 2 websites are relevant. The first one is the Arts and Science Timetable. The other one, the current students, Arts and Science current students site, is a really good site for you guys to bookmark. It has links to all of the relevant information that you will need as an Arts and Science student. It's a good first place to start looking if you have questions. Okay. So as you learned about in the calendar session, there's a ton of information in the calendar about what courses it is that you need to choose to complete the programs that you are interested in completing. And so you would first consult the calendar to figure out what those courses are, find the programs, see what courses are required, make a list of those, and then we go to the timetable to then build your schedule. Acorn, which is the your course management site, and this is where everything happens. This is where you update your personal information, including your banking information. This is where you would see your financial invoice, where you apply for your programs, where you enroll in your courses, you find out your marks, your GPA, everything. Your current academic standing, everything happens on Acorn. So you can also, not unlike online shopping, you can go and select your courses now on Acorn and put them into what is called your enrollment cart. And on your course enrollment day on July 26th for first year students, any second year students, anyone else second year student, transfer student? Okay, so for everyone else, July 26th is your course enrollment day, July 19th for year 2. And at your start time, your course enrollment start time, the time that's been assigned to you, to gain access to Acorn on that day, you enroll in your courses. And you can just pull up your course enrollment cart and click enroll into all of the courses that you've put in your cart. It's a good idea to you can do everything on July 26th, but remember you're competing for spaces in the courses with all the other students who want them. Some courses are quite small and have a very limited course enrollment. Other courses may be quite large, for example, Bio 120, which you will all be taking unless you're interested in psychology. But for everybody else, Bio 120 is a super large course. It's like 1,300 people in the class. But don't be deceived. There are more than 1,300 people who will want to or enroll or need to enroll in this course. So even for courses that seem very large, be prepared, enroll in it as soon as you can on July 26th. Okay. All right. So we're pulling, this is examples pulled from the calendar. So I just pulled up 2 science programs, physiology and environment and health. What you'll notice when you start to look through the programs is that for the life sciences, by and large, all of the first year requirements are basically the same. Pretty much everybody has to take Bio 120 and Bio 130, Chem 136 and Chem 135, first year calculus. So if you're not sure if you're interested in immunology or physiology or neuroscience, that's okay. look at all of the course requirements for each of those programs, and most of the time you'll find that they're the same across the board. So when you're choosing your courses, don't feel like you have to really limit your particular interests or know exactly what it is that you want to do within the life sciences, because these courses will cover lots of the different programs. So for example, here, Bio 120, you can see that below, Chemistry 136 and Chemistry, oh, I highlighted these wrong incorrectly. And I don't know why I didn't highlight this either. Chemistry 135, Chemistry 136 is here in both programs. Math 135 is an option here. It is also an option here. You need one full course equivalent from the following courses, of which Math 135 is one of them. So you can choose to take Math 135 and Math 136 and Geography as well. That's okay. Geography doesn't do anything for you with respect to physiology, but it does help with the environment and health. Right, so you start to go through and make a list of the courses that are required, that you want to take. You can read the course descriptions in the calendar. So you want to get a better sense of, am I actually interested in this Earth Sciences 102 course or Geology 102, and what's the difference? So read a course description. You can enroll in both courses and go to the first couple of weeks of class and then decide. That's okay too. Okay, so you start to make a list. Whoops. Come on. Oh, I did highlight. Okay, here's another example, the immunology specialist. So immunology says, here's what it takes in order to get into the program: Bio 120, Bio 130, Chem 135. So you'll see a lot Chem 135 / Chem 139 and Chem 136 / Chem 138. The chemistry department a few years ago, it's still not clear to me why, renamed their first year chemistry courses. So Chem 139 became Chem 135 and Chem 138 became Chem 136. So you'll see like Chem 135 / Chem 130, Chem 135 / Chem 139. Chem 139 doesn't exist anymore, neither does Chem 138. So it's Chem 135 and Chem 136 that you'll be taking. Or Chemistry 151. So Chemistry 135 is a half credit physical chemistry course. Chemistry 136 is a half credit organic chemistry course. Chem 151 is a full credit accelerated, sort of enriched first year chemistry course. Don't take this course unless, whoa, my screen went blue. Oh, okay. Unless you are planning on pursuing a program in chemistry. At the lunch today, we're going to be, you're going to have an opportunity to chat with some professors of first year courses, including biology, chemistry, and calculus. In chemistry and calculus, you have options of first year calculus courses to take. Ask them, why would I choose Chemistry 151 versus Chem 135 and Chem 136? And they'll tell you Chem 135 is an accelerated version. Don't take this course unless you're planning on pursuing a program in chemistry. It's not necessary. Chem 135 and Chem 136 will be challenging enough. Bio 120 and Bio 130. Is anyone coming in with AP credits? Do they know already? Okay, so if you have a biology AP credit, and it'll be 2 half credit courses. They'll say Bio 1 ** H1. One will be equivalent to Bio 130, which is Cell and Systems. And the other one will not be equivalent to Bio 120, but all the life science programs accept it anyway. So you could technically avoid taking this course if you have the AP or IB credit. But there are good reasons for doing so and not doing so, which we can talk about individually if you like. And then first year calculus. And then down here, you'll see in your first year, you could take physics. Physics is required for completing this program. You don't have to take it in your first year. You can take it in your second year instead. No program will require more than 3 credits for admission to the program. So physics is not required for admission to the program, but it is required to complete the program. Any questions on that? Okay. I put in these handy animations, and that says exactly what I just said. Okay, so after you have gone through the arts and science calendar and you've identified what courses are required for the programs for which you are interested, Then you have to think about what other opportunities, what other electives might I choose to take? You could choose to satisfy breadth requirement. You could choose a special program like the ONES program, for example. The ONES programs are small classroom experiences that are hosted by colleges, and also the Monk School has a ONES program only for first-year students. They're limited in class size to just 24, 25 students. And the courses typically have some relation to the college. So for example, Innis has 4 ONES program courses, of which students are enrolled into 2, so just for 1 credit. And they are a journalism course, a creative writing course, a cinema studies course, and an urban studies related course. So, which are the programs that are affiliated with Innis College. And other colleges have similar kinds of ONES programs. Just for first-year students, the grading in these courses is typically more based on class participation, special projects, presentations, rather than an exam or something as heavy as you might find in your required courses. You have to apply and be admitted into a ONES program. Out of the 8 programs that are available, so the 7 colleges plus Monk School, 4 of them are closed at the moment for application, but 4 are still open. So you can look and see which ones are still accepting applications if you're interested in. The FLIC. In your packets, there's a little postcard describing the FLIC as well. The FLIC to me is it's near and dear to my heart. I've been involved with the FLIC program at Innis College for the life science students for 10 or 11 years, long time. The FLIC, the first year learning community, is also a group of 25 or so students who meet every other week in the Innis residence events room, where for an hour and a half, there's some kind of activity that's been planned for you. So whether it's developmental, educational, or social, it's led by 2 upper year student peer mentors. And the peer mentors that we have this year are both 4th year students, and they've got tons of experience of both life science students, Lucy and Tiffany. The FLIC also enrolls you in some of the activities that we might do would be a visit to the anatomy museum in the medical sciences building, or a talk on getting a research opportunity, or a talk from the Robarts librarian, the discipline-specific librarian, on how to do your research, things like that, or an end of the year party or whatever. The FLIC also pre-enrolls you into biology, chemistry, and calculus, into the same sections as everybody. And then Thursdays from 1:30 to 3, we would meet in the events room every other Thursday, so that you're in the same section, same lab, same tutorial with all the people who are also in your FLIC group. It's a great program, well organized, and I strongly recommend it. Not the least of which because I am the staff advisor for the program. We also have a faculty advisor from the chemistry department. First year seminars are also called 199s. First year seminar courses also limited in class size to about 24, 25 students. You can take a maximum of 1 credit of a first year seminar course. None of the first year seminar opportunities or courses are related to any programs. And these are all kind of these are programs, the courses that are taught by full professors on topics that are near and dear to their heart. So things like there might be one on sports injury, or the Lord of the Rings, or climate, or whatever. These are actual credit courses, but they don't satisfy any program requirements, but they do satisfy a breadth requirement, and they do satisfy a credit towards the 20 that you need to take to be eligible to graduate. First year seminar courses are very popular, and they go quickly. So when you're enrolling in your courses, because the life science students typically get a start time towards the end of the day, just the way that the arts and science does it, have a few first year seminar courses in mind if you're interested in taking first year seminars. These courses also, like the ONES courses, they rely heavily on class participation for your mark, presentations, group work, things like that. Okay. All right. And then more on elective courses. These are regular courses that students in other areas of study would choose for their program-related courses. But you can learn language. You could take a course in regarding a different culture, classics, history. So these are courses that students in these disciplines would take for their program-related, but you can take them as an elective, just like they could take chemistry or biology if they wanted to. Okay, when you're choosing your courses, try and stick to taking 100 level courses, but there are some 200 level courses that have no prerequisites, or say introduction in the title, for example, and then you know that it's okay to take. All right, so here, I've made a list. I've gone through the calendar. I've made a list of all the courses that I want to take, my required courses towards my programs of interest, and then some electives. Now we're going to go into the timetable. Okay, so this is the arts and science timetable. Really what's relevant for you here at this point is the timetable listings. Okay, so this is how you can start to put together your schedule. You've made that list, the bio, the chemistry, calculus, psychology. Let's start looking at, start with math. Math one, oops. Search for courses. Okay, Math 135. There are a whole bunch of lecture sections that are available, right? Everything in green is a lecture section. This course also has tutorials. That was very loud. This course also has tutorials. So you have to choose a lecture. Every course has a lecture, but because it also lists tutorials, you also have to choose a tutorial. And there are also a lot of tutorials for which you can choose. Doesn't matter which one you choose, the content will be the same, but the one you choose is the one you stick with. They all are taught by different TAs or teaching assistants, and they will give you a mark for the tutorial that'll be incorporated into your overall mark for the course. You can see the lectures are quite large, medium to large, right? Oh, this one's super large, 468 students. Typically, these courses range from about 150 to 250 or so with that one large one. But look at the tutorials are much smaller. So if you have a question and you're in a 200-person class, you're not going to be able to ask it in the lecture. In the tutorial, this is where you get your concepts clarified, where you ask your questions, where you build a relationship with your course instructor. So let's pick one. I'm going to add this to my plan. Just pick randomly. This is the first one, and add this to my plan. And now I can look at my timetable plan. And now I'm starting to work on my schedule. So this is how you start to build it. Things to think about. If you are not a morning person, do not enroll in a 9 o'clock class. I can't tell you how many times over the years I've had students in my office saying, I'm failing this course. Well, do you go? Well, it's at 9 o'clock. I can't get up in time. Well, don't enroll in a 9 o'clock class if you can avoid it, if that's not free, it's not okay for you. If you have a long commute and you are going to be depending on the GO train or something for an hour and a half after your courses at the end of the day, if you can avoid it, don't take a class that ends at 9 or 10 o'clock, right? Because classes go all day and some courses end quite late. Because then you have to think about getting home and then eating something and then doing homework and then you're exhausted. So choose courses and sections with the best of your ability, because not every course has this many options for lectures or tutorials for things that are important to you. When I was an undergrad and soap operas were a thing and we didn't have VCRs, if you even know what that is anymore, gosh, I'm so much older now. Anyway, I scheduled all my classes around my soap opera because that was what was important to me. It also fell during my lunchtime, so I justified it that way. But if you feel like if you need to eat at 1 o'clock every day, otherwise, the rest of the day you're low energy, low sugar, or if you are doing a sport or like an intramural sport, or you like to go to the gym or something, whatever it is, plan your schedule around that. It's not like high school. It's not 9 to 3:30 and then, that's your day. you may have some classes where there's nothing going on. Some days there was nothing going on, and then some days where it's jam-packed. So these are things to think about. All right, return and go to courses. All right, so the other two poorly photocopied handouts that I gave you, let's look at those. These are your lab courses. So Bio 120. Okay. So Bio 120 H1F, this course is offered in the first semester only. There's no second semester for the option for this course. There appear to be 3 lecture sections, but there's actually only 2 in which you can enroll. The enrollment controls on this course is only for arts and science life science students. So if you are a humanities student or a commerce student and you wanted to take Bio 120 as an elective, you could not enroll in it on your course enrollment day because you don't meet the priority. Only you guys meet the priority for Bio 120. This lecture section 2002 is restricted. Restrictions never go away. Priorities are lifted as of August 3rd. Restrictions never go away. There's a small 11 spaces available for students in the Faculty of Kinesiology. Or you have this option, this evening section, Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. So either Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11, or the evening sections, Wednesdays from 7 to 9. So it's 2 hours divided up into two different ways. Practicals. So practicals are your labs. Practicals for this course and also for Chem 135 and Chem 136 are offered every other week. When you're enrolling in your courses, Acorn will warn you, but does not prevent you from enrolling in 2 courses that are at the same day and same time. You cannot be in the same place at the same time, 2 different places at the same time, right? So you must enroll in courses that are at unique days and times. With the labs, however, because they're offered on alternating weeks, you can schedule labs that are offered at the same day, same time, but you have to make sure that one lab is 1 week, and then the next lab is the other week, and then every other week for the rest of the semester. And how do you do that? So looking at the lab code, if it ends in the number 1, it starts the week of September 17th, and it goes every other week after that. If it ends in the number 2, then it starts the week of September 24th and goes every other week after that. So if you choose a lab for bio that ends in the number 1, make sure your chemistry lab ends in the number 2. And if you forget those days and times, you can look under here under timetable instructions, and you can see right here. Practical meeting section numbers that end in the number 1 start the week of September 17th, and practical meeting sections that end in the number 2 start the following week and go every other week after that. Okay, so now let's look at Chem 136. Okay, so chemistry has 3 different, Chem 136 has 3 different lecture sections available in the first semester. The chemistry also is offered, Chem 136 is also offered in the second semester, which there are 2 different lecture sections. It does not matter which order you take the chemistry 135 and Chem 136. You can take Chem 136 in the first semester and Chem 135 in the second semester, or reverse that. The only thing you can't do is take them both in the same semester. So looking at Chem 135, you have 3 different options, 3 hours a week for lecture. You also have the labs, the practicals, you can see here it ends in the number 1 and number 2, and the timetable instructions say the same thing, right? Practical sections that end in the number 1 start the week of September 17th. The other ones start the week of September 24th. There's also a tutorial. So this course has 3 different sections of which you need to choose one section from each option. 1 lecture, 1 lab, 1 tutorial. Okay, so let's choose one randomly. Okay, and now looking at our timetable. Okay, so it's starting to come together, right? We have nothing so far for the winter. Okay, all right, so all right, so this is what I've done. I've gone through with all of the courses that I wanted to take. I've made a list. I've written down which practical sections, which lecture, which labs I want to take, my elective courses, Italian and first year seminar course, it's a $199. And this is what my schedule looks like. Not so bad. It's not a ton of class time hours. However, be aware that the faculty expects that for every 1 hour of class time, you'll be spending 2 hours of your own time studying. So this is another mistake that I often run across with first year students. They only go, well, not even just first year, to be honest, only go to the lectures, labs, and tutorials and feel like that's it. That is your responsibility. Not so bad. I have plenty of time, 12 hours a week or whatever. I have plenty of time to get a job or do other more fun things. You do. You have time, but you have to plan the time also to be studying. Your first 2 weeks of school are going to be review from some of the stuff that you learned in high school. And you're going to think easy peasy lemon squeezy, no big deal. I got this. And by week 3, it's going to feel like a tidal wave. So this is not to scare you. This is just to prepare you, just to say you need to be on top of your schoolwork. Take the extra time to study. If you can read ahead, when you get your syllabus on the first day of class, it says the outline of the whole course. Try and read and prepare for the next class rather than reading after the class. It will make so much more sense. The information will click with you a little bit better if you've already at least been exposed to it by reading for the next class. I can't stress enough to stay on top of your course material. You will not have the time to catch up at the end of the semester. Start planning for your exams weeks and weeks in advance. Again, this is not to scare you, but to prepare you. Study harder for your first organic chemistry test than you've studied for anything ever before, ever. These are really challenging courses, and high school study habits don't cut it here. If things aren't going well, you have 2/3 of the way through the semester to decide whether or not to drop the course. If you drop the course before the drop date, it will disappear from your transcript as if you had never taken it. Between the drop date and the last day of class, you still have an opportunity to get out of the course. It's called using a late withdrawal, and it has to be done in the registrar's office in consultation with an associate registrar. There's a limit to the number of late withdrawals you can use during your 4 years here as a student. And the course stays on your transcript. You don't really want to use this option, but it's so much better than failing the course. So if after the drop date you realize, oh my gosh, this isn't going well, I have to get out of the course, come in because we have options. Okay. All right, so that's my fall semester. Winter semester, again, lots of time. I only have labs on Tuesdays. Things are looking good. Planned out well. I have time to eat lunch every day. I have time in the evening to go to the gym before I go home. Okay, so enrollment controls, we ran into this a little bit with the bio and the chemistry. There's 6 different enrollment controls that you might come across in the timetable. These ones are the ones that you're most likely to run into. Priority goes to students in a particular admission category, or if you're looking to take a 200 level course because you have transfer credit from high school or transfer credit from another university, the courses might give priority to students who are actively enrolled in the major already, for example, where they might be some of the course. So back to priorities are valid only until August 2nd. As of August 3rd, anybody can enroll in any remaining spaces that are available. If the course is full and it offers a wait list, it's reasonable to join a wait list if your wait list number is within 10% of the total class size. Or if you're feeling, you want to gamble a little bit, go a little bit higher, maybe 15%, again, depending on the class size. But beyond that, I would recommend looking for another section. As students change their schedule, drop courses up until the second week of class, the wait list will automatically slot the next person into the available space. Restrictions. So courses that are restricted, those restrictions are never lifted. So you will never be able to take a 200 level Rotman Commerce business course. They're all restricted to students in the program. Enrollment, which means enroll at the department. So some of these are because the departments have specific requirements they want you to check before they enroll you in the course. So either that you're enrolled in the program, or that you've auditioned, for example, drama, or that you don't have prior knowledge in the language. Many of the East Asian languages, for example, are e-enrollment courses. You have to sign up. You have to tell the department that you're interested in enrolling in it, and then they'll give you a language test to make sure that you don't have prior language experience. So those are some examples. Okay. So plan all your courses using the Arts and Science calendar and the timetable. Be ready to go on July 26th. If you can put courses in your enrollment cart beforehand, that would be great. It just makes things so much easier on the 26th to just hit enroll and then move on to the next one. If you've put a course in your enrollment cart, and by the time you have access to it on July 26th, the course is full, then Acorn is actually clever enough to tell you right away and will highlight for you which other sections of the course don't conflict with the other courses you've enrolled in. So it seems complicated. It's not. It's pretty straightforward. A little stressful at the time, but it's totally fine. And then you can change it. Once you've gotten into the core courses that you want, if you find another course that you find fits your schedule better or that you like better, you can change it up until the second week of school. Okay. So courses for which you don't meet the enrollment control, like computer science, for example, you can't add those to your enrollment cart. You have to wait till the priority period is over. Okay, try and balance your schedule as much as possible. Make sure if you're taking 5 credits worth of courses that you take 5 courses per semester. What haven't we covered here? Enroll in both your fall and your winter term courses all at once on July 26th. Note that some courses go the full academic year. So Math 137, for example, is a Y course, a full credit course. That'll be the same time, same day for the whole year. Okay, once you've enrolled in your courses, that's step 1. Step 2 is to pay. You have to pay for your courses. Your invoice will be available to you before you even enroll in courses. It'll be on Acorn. You're initially charged a flat fee. Students who are taking 4 or more courses are charged a program fee or a flat fee. It is expected that you will probably enroll in 4 or more courses. If you decide to take 3.5 or fewer, you can be switched to a per course fee. But your initial payment is 50% of your total academic fees, so it'll be roughly $4,000. If you're receiving OSAP or another provincial loan, then you can defer your fees also on Acorn. So if you've already been approved for OSAP, or at least approved at that point, or before the fee payment deadline, then you can defer your fees, which means I will pay once the money comes in. The money doesn't come in until after school starts. All right, deadline to do this, August 29th. We're going to make this really clear. If you miss this deadline, the faculty will assume that you are not coming, and they will remove you from all of the courses that you have enrolled in. And then all of the students on the wait list will say thank you, because they will get slotted in. And if the course is full, the course is full. We cannot add you back into a section from which you've been removed. Okay. All right. I covered that. August 29th. Okay. Acorn does not check for prerequisites or co-requisites. That is checked at the department level, and that's checked after school begins typically. And the departments will then remove you from courses for which you're not eligible to take. So don't enroll in courses for which you don't have the prerequisite. And you can find out that information in the calendar. Acorn doesn't also prevent you from making timetable conflicts. It will warn you. The courses will show up in red as a warning. You've chosen 2 courses at the same day and same time, but it will not prevent you from doing so. Acorn is shut down for course enrollment on the following dates: August 2nd, 9th, and 7th, 7th, and 9th. And enroll in your full academic year's worth of courses all at the same time. You can change your winter term courses and you can add things up until the 2nd week in January. Of course, the later you wait in January to enroll in courses, the less likely there is going to be space available in the ones that you want. But you can make some adjustments to your winter term courses all the way up until the second week in January. We're running a little short on time, so this is just sort of, we had extra time, things that I wish I had known. Use your resources, check the blogs. In the emails that I've been sending you, I've been linking to Starter Kit, Fast Forward, Ask a Student. Read those. Ask a Student is a blog run by a student in our office, where students write in questions. It's like a advice column almost. Starter Kit is also organized by groups of students in our office. They create videos. They put relevant, need-to-know information on the Starter Kit from a student perspective. And then other things that it would be good to know, things about when you're choosing your courses, find ones that maybe have experiential learning opportunities where you can actually go hands-on and do something. Or if it's coming close to exam time and you want to find out what the exam is like, past final exams are kept in the Arts and Science Student Union and also in the Robarts Library. You can download a copy of the past exam because the current exam won't be the same content, but at least the style might be the same, or at least it's a good way for you to check and see if you understand the content. There are emergency bursaries available at the college level if you're in a financial bind. This is not financial planning for you. This is, oh my gosh, my laptop got stolen and I can't afford to replace it. What do I do? Come in, and we have a process for assigning bursaries to students. This is money that you don't have to return. We're here to help. Okay, so it's about 12:15. After we do questions, the next thing we're going to do is go to lunch. It will be in the events room in the residence, which is on the same side of the street here, right across from the Innis College building. I'm really hoping that the rain has stopped because it's fun to hang out in the courtyard with the upper year students. In the events room, which is the first room on the right when you walk into the residence, we invited a whole bunch of professors and faculty and staff from around the university to come. This is unprecedented access that you have to the first year chemistry, first year biology, calculus, psychology, other programs, French, urban studies, cinema studies. Ask them. So questions for you guys: should I pursue a major in physiology or should I pursue a specialist? This is what my end goal is. What would be the advice of the professor, the faculty member? What can I do to prepare for courses in advance, right? I've just heard from Denise how difficult chemistry is. What can I do to prepare for this course so that I am okay when I take it? What levels of courses should I take? Should I take the Chem 135 and Chem 136, or should I go for the Chem 151, even though Denise told me not to? Should I do the Math 135 and Math 136, which is more practical applications of first year calculus, or should I go for the more theoretical Math 137 or Math 157? I really like calculus and I can't decide, right? These are options. After that, we'll have the lunch, go on a residence tour, talk to upper year students about clubs, organizations, their courses, their programs. How difficult is Acorn really? Denise made it so difficult and confusing. And then after lunch, we'll do a Money Matters session and a demonstration of how Acorn actually works. Any questions? Really? So either I've explained things so well that you have no questions, or I've made things so confusing you don't know where to begin. Okay, well, it doesn't look like anybody else is left, so you guys can be first in line for lunch. So you're welcome to go. I'll hang around here if anyone has individual questions they want to ask me. Thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it.